What's happening, y'all? It is Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. Man, 2026. I'm about to hop on a call with my guy Jeff. So, if y'all been following along at all, y'all would know that Jeff is, um, he works with this company called the Entrepreneur Source. And he's been basically trying to help me figure out how to own a franchise. He came to the conclusion. I guess it's been like 2 weeks ago that I was too broke to own a franchise. Right? I have my net worth is literally zero. Um, Actually, it's probably more so in the negative right now. So he realized I'm too broke to own a franchise right now. But we scheduled this meeting for today. 2 weeks later, as like a check-in. So the meeting, I'm already a minute late, so we're about to hop right into that meeting. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and just my webcam and just start sharing my screen. Since the webcam is already on here on Zoom. Enter my name.
Hey, Miles.
Hey Jeff, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing
It's been a
well.
it's been a couple of weeks since you and I last spoke. How are things going? Anything you want to kind of open up with before we kind of get into it? It's not a lot to talk about, but basically, I just wanted to check in on you regarding the funding partner and all that. But just wanted anything else you wanted to bring up?
Uh, no, no. Other than like you said, the funding partner. I spoke with Daryl earlier today. But yeah, just been really heads down with the job search and going on interviews and things like that. But
Any success or anything? Any bites?
no offers just yet. But I am in like kind of the later stages with a couple of companies.
Good.
Like now,
Good.
you know how things can be nowadays, right? Like you have 5, 6 different interview rounds, before the offer comes. So I'm in like the later stages with a few companies. So hopefully, something comes in.
All right. Uh, let's see. You don't have any storm coming your way this weekend, do you?
I do, man. It's
Yeah.
coming in pretty strong on they said Saturday night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting the same thing here on Friday night. It's going to start, but then we'll see the real the wallop on Saturday. I think,
yeah,
uh, but I keep seeing different reports in terms of the AI and the weather maps and everything. So they're not everybody's in agreement about what we're in for. So
yeah, man. It's yeah. Because where are you based again?
I'm just outside of Tulsa.
You just outside
So
Tulsa. Okay,
so
okay, Oklahoma.
yeah, Oklahoma. So they're saying the southern part of the state near Oklahoma City is going to get actually a lot more like ice and snow and
Yeah,
sleet
right.
than we are. But I think we're still getting some. I know we had a pretty bad ice storm out here about 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
Just after I moved here. So
I'm
yeah,
sure that wasn't any fun.
no, it was my introduction to
To
the
Tulsa.
heart.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, so yeah, let's just kind of get into it and talk about how your conversation with it was the hold on at CDC, a small business finance.
Yep. Yep.
Who'd you speak with again?
Daryl. Daryl's last name is um. Just looking for his last name. Appia. Daryl Appia.
Okay,
Appiah. So yeah,
So
I spoke with him.
what were your big takeaways? What did you learn anything?
Yeah, man, he was great. I learned a lot. He, you know, basically, um, you know, kind of told me, you know, what it would take to be funded, kind of like what the requirements are on the personal side in terms of credit score, um, you know, what the equity investment would need to be, you know, all those things, and you know, and he kind of told me like about the what do you call it, the income to debt ratio, you know, kind of where that would need to be as well. Like typically, you know, over a one, over 1.0, they like to see like 1.25, you know, to make sure that your revenue and profitability can um, is greater than the debt that you're incurring. So, you know, it was good. It was really knowledgeable for sure.
Did he have any particular like recommendations or like steps to take, like next steps, anything like that?
Uh, no, I mean, so I told him kind of where I am in terms of looking for a new job, things like that. His next steps were because I told him I was interested in like e-commerce and things like that. So he actually said he would introduce me to somebody who you know kind of is working in that space now, like in kind of the e-commerce space, and you know is doing pretty doing pretty good. So you know he said he'd introduce me to that person, um, and you know he just said you know to stay in touch and you know let him know when I'm looking to move forward and if I have any questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
he was good. I didn't. There was a lot of things I didn't know about you know the process. Of course, I never went through it before. But now I feel like I have
What
a
we call this discovery.
yeah. So now I feel like I have a strong understanding with like what I need to make sure is you know checked off on my side before you know to in order to give myself the best chance to be approved for the lending.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anything I can help with, or anything you wanted to ask me?
Uh, yeah. So, and he talked about you know the relationship a little bit that you know they have with the entrepreneur stores. But could you just kind of touch on like kind of how you all work together and like how it would all tie together? You know, if it was you, Daryl, and his lending firm, and myself.
No. Yeah. So you wouldn't necessarily be obligated to work with Daryl if the time ever came for that. I mean, there's actually other funding partners you can talk to if you'd
Right.
like. Now,
Right.
if you decide you'd like to work with Daryl, you know that's good too. Um, so I think, did he put you through any like pre-qualification or anything like that?
He didn't. It was just kind of like a preliminary
Yeah,
conversation. We were just kind of chatting.
which is
Um,
what I was expecting. So
yeah. Yeah.
where that's concerned, I think really if things get closer to you really wanting to move forward with something, when that time comes, then yeah, then they're probably going to want to pre-qualify you, and maybe even dictate what next steps there might be for you where that's concerned. I think personally, I think we're a little ways from that, um,
Right.
uh, which is no, you know, we're not in a hurry by any
Right.
means.
Right.
I think really the most important thing is for you to get gainful employment now, and hopefully we'll see that in the next what 2 or 3 weeks. You're thinking?
Yeah. Ideally.
Yeah,
Ideally.
yeah. No guarantees, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But ideally, yes. You know, we're with me being in kind of the later stages. Like I said, I would hope so.
Yeah, I certainly hope that that works out. So I'm just curious, what are the companies you're hoping for?
Yeah, so one of them is a company called Stebo. They are basically a media company. They provide it's basically like a CMS system for media companies,
Okay.
and I would work in sales with them. So I'd be selling their platform to you know the media companies that you
So
know
CMS, is that the same thing as a CRM?
not really. No, content management is for you know different
Oh, yeah.
products and
So
services
that's
that you're
yeah.
selling.
So content management. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
content management. Yeah,
Versus customer uh,
relationship
response. Yeah.
management.
Relationship.
Yeah, so a little bit. Yeah, so it's different in that way. But yeah, I would basically be selling their CMS to media companies, and as a in sales as a account executive.
Okay.
So that's one option I'm looking at. And then like some in the later stages with them. Um, Another company, similar but just selling different product. And then one's a larger company, Square. I'm in the later stages with Square as well, payment processor. So
Okay. All right. Well, keep me posted. I'm thinking that we're probably not gonna have a lot to talk about on the near term.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that's fair.
so it's the 22nd today.
Okay,
How about if we check in again?
next month, you thinking maybe a month from now?
Yeah. So I'm thinking February, but maybe like the first or second week.
Okay, right around Super Bowl. All right.
Well, we wouldn't meet that Sunday, of course, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
Super Bowl Sunday's what? Is that the 8th?
That's what I've heard. I haven't looked yet, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I can confirm that. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday the 8th. Well, I know I'm going to a Super Bowl party that day, so
Oh
uh,
yeah, yeah, for sure. That's like a rite of passage, man.
yeah.
You gotta go to the Super Bowl
Right.
party on the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
even if
you
you're not a
taking?
football fan.
Yeah, even if you're not a football fan, who are you
Yeah.
taking? Who you got? And
I haven't decided yet.
okay,
What about you?
I just don't see this anybody beating the Seahawks. I just feel like they're humming right now. The Patriot, I think it's gonna be Patriots Seahawks, mainly because the Broncos lost their quarterback for the rest of the playoffs. So I don't see them beating the Patriots. It's like basically gonna be impossible.
Yeah,
And then
I think the
yeah,
Patriots I would say would probably nail it.
yeah, beat the Broncos. And then the Rams. I mean, they just squeaked in past the Bears. But Seattle, man, they're just a different beast. They're a different beast in Seattle.
When was the
So
last time the Rams played in a Super Bowl? It wasn't. Was it?
it was 2023, I think. Was it 2022 or
Oh,
2023? It was
okay,
a couple. Remember, because
okay,
they beat the Bengals a few years
okay.
ago. Um, that was like Aaron Donald was like Super Bowl win, his only Super Bowl win and everything. But yeah, I just think the Rams. I don't see it. I don't see them beating the Seahawks. That Seahawks defense is just, they're the best in the league. So I got the Seahawks beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That I think that's going to be a probably a very close game if that happens.
Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely think it'll be close for sure.
Um, yeah, hard to
Yeah.
say.
So I guess we'll find. I
Well,
guess we'll know.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll know when
So let's
you and
yeah,
I meet.
let's talk that. Are you available that Monday then?
Yeah. Let me just double check. I should Monday the 9th.
Yeah,
Yep, I'm available.
we can do this same time if you'd like.
Okay, Monday the 9th at 3. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Miles.
All right,
I'll send
Jeff.
you a calendar invite and keep me posted. Even if something comes up sooner than when we meet in a few weeks, let me know if you land a job or what have you. And if nothing else, I'll pop open the champagne and sing congratulations to you.
For sure, bro. For sure. All right, we'll
All
talk
right,
soon.
man.
All right, man.
We'll talk to
Take it
you.
easy.
Talk to you on the 9th.
All right, talk then, man. Peace.
All right. You too. Bye bye.
All right, man. So let me. Yeah, man. So we just talked. We just talked to my boy Jeff. Um, you know, like I kind of told y'all already. You know, me and Jeff didn't have too much to talk about today because he's like, bro, you're too broke to talk about owning a franchise right now. No need for us to even discuss that. Um, but I'll be meeting with him in about whatever 2 3 weeks from now. I guess 3 weeks from now. for him and I to discuss, you know, next steps and everything. But basically, just to kind of put y'all on to kind of like how I've been thinking the last couple of days. Um, your boy is, like, I feel like I'm thinking very, very clearly nowadays. I'm thinking clearer than I ever have. You know. Hold on. Can't find. So, um, I know I just started streaming earlier. I should start streaming early this morning though. I mean, I know I just started streaming now, but I should start streaming earlier this morning. So like I was telling Jeff, we hopped on a call earlier this morning with my guy Daryl. Y'all would have seen him on the screen, like him and I in the email I showed earlier. He he's like a loan officer at like a credit union, like a lending company. Um, yeah, I don't know why this dude's calling me, man. So anyway, um, he works at like a lending company, whatever. And talked to him. He was super helpful, just like I told Jeff. He kind of told me about what their lending process is like. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Gotta put this guy up a little bit. All right, that's better. So, so basically, talked to him, and he told me everything I need to do, really. How I can give myself the best chance to, um, hold on. Um, so yeah, he put me on, man. He put me on to what I need to do. Um, but there's just a lot of shit going on, man. Like I'm on stream, I get on stream, and y'all see me get up here and like talk, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of shit that's going on behind the scenes. I've set up systems that are going on behind the scenes, even when I'm not doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how dialed in we are. Like, even when I'm not doing something, shit's like I'm still being productive. Shit's still getting done. We at that level right now, and we at that level here at the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? What am I talking about? So this job search, like later in the year, late last year, y'all saw me really get into it. I was applying to 40, 50 jobs a day, which is a decent amount, but whatever. And that was taking up most of my time. You know what I'm saying? So it was taking up a lot of my time, and it wasn't. It didn't feel like it felt like I was kind of running in circles, more or less. You know what I mean? And hold on. I'm talking to my VA right now, right? So, it was taking up a lot of my time, and what I found is that let me put her on mute. Actually, she too it's just too much. It's just too much. I don't need to see a message every you know what I'm saying every 2 minutes and shit. So, but like that was taking up too much of my time. And I feel like I was running in circles. So basically, I decided I had like an idea one day. I was like, you know what? We're gonna be a lot smarter with how we go about this job search, right? We're gonna be a lot smarter and go about this job search a lot more efficiently. And so what I found is that I need to be spending my time networking, talking to people I know, connecting with other Morehouse brothers, stuff like that. Like I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's where my time needs to be spent. And let a VA, or I guess I could use some type of AI tool, whatever. But I've just used this VA before. She's really, really cheap, to be quite honest, in terms of, what I'm saying, how much because she overseas, so she's super cheap. Um, I was like, let me hire this VA to put in these applications for me, so that while I'm sleeping, right, or as soon as I wake up, or when I'm busy doing whatever, right, she's putting in job applications, right? She's filling that time gap. You see what I'm saying? If I'm not busy putting the application, I got somebody doing it for me, because it's a tedious task. It's a trivial task. It's not a hard thing to do, but it takes time. So I'm like, she's gonna do that. She's gonna put all that. She's gonna be putting all these job applications in. I'm gonna pay her. I hired her to do that. While she's doing that, or actually at the same time she's doing that, she's also sending connection invites to other Morehouse bros, right? Morehouse alumnus like me. She's sending connection invites to them. I'm connecting with them and reaching out to them directly, letting them know what's going on, right? I'm looking for a job, and asking them if they can help, right? That's what we do, right? Within our network, like Morehouse brothers, we're gonna look out. Like it's a strong like brotherhood. So it's like I was like, okay, cool. Let me lean into that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's probably been the most valuable thing that I got from my time in Morehouse is after I left Morehouse. You know what I'm saying? The network. Being able to network, because you just when shit doesn't go right, when shit goes left, like being able to kind of lean on your brothers, lean on people who look like you, who share the same struggle as you, who um, go through a lot of the same shit that you go through now and in the past, right? Having that shared trauma, you know what I'm saying, of what you go through with financial aid, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff at the house, whatever. things like that. So um, yeah, so I figured it would be in my best interest to use my time connecting with them. And so far, I got three. I found three Morehouse bros who are working behind the scenes to try to figure something out. Right, they're talking to people, trying to figure something out. Um, yeah, I've also networked with a few friends and family, but they're not really doing shit. Um, and so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm spending my time networking with them, reaching out to them. Like I said, mostly Morehouse Bros. And then she's putting in job applications for me, so I don't have to do such a tedious task. She got a whole like SOP, right? She got like a whole all the guidelines for what I'm looking for, salary wise, like you know, remote versus hybrid versus on site, all of that type of companies, how big the companies are, the whole nine. She got like a whole playbook for what jobs to apply to, which ones to not apply to. So, and she just been working. So, what I found is that when I wake up, a lot of times I got emails from recruiters trying to set up an interview. You see what I'm saying? Like, as soon as I wake up, you know what I'm saying? Or before I go to sleep, I'm getting an email, right, or whatever, of a recruiter or somebody that wants to, talk to me about a job opportunity. And a lot of that is because she's putting in these applications, constantly, consistently. Um, so basically, the way I've done it is I got opportunities coming in just from putting in job applications, and then, I think some opportunities are going to open up. I hope some opportunities are going to open up soon through the through the networking I've been doing. Right. In fact, I got like two people I got to reach out to right now. You know what I'm saying? Um, Two other Morehouse bros who I got to reach out to right now. So, um, so yeah, bro. Like that's what's going on. That's what we're doing. Um, and not only am I doing this, like, so follow me. Not only do I have opportunities coming in from just putting in online applications, I got what I think is going to be opportunities coming in through networking with Morehouse Bros. I'm doing that through two different LinkedIn profiles to expedite the whole process. So one, I call it my old LinkedIn. It's like, you know, um, simply put, it's just not as good as the new one. It doesn't look as good, doesn't sound as good. It's still good though. It's like good enough, but it's just not as polished as my second profile, which I call my new LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? And so that one is polished. It's some embellishing going on that one. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And then, so she's applying from both of those accounts. You see what I'm saying? So it's like double the amount of applications going out than what I was doing before. Um, and because the new one is so polished, a lot of recruiters are coming to me. You know what I'm saying? They're reaching out to me through the new profile, and then she's doing like more of the traditional online applications through the old profile. So yeah, man, that's where we are. In fact, I'm probably about to just tell her to lean into applying through the new profile, not so much the old profile anymore. But we'll see. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, man. So that's what we're doing on the job search side. We got, just like I told Jeff, it wasn't a joke. We got a couple opportunities, a couple companies I'm meeting with, or I've been interviewing with, where I am in like the later stages. Um, One of them I'm for sure. I think it's one, maybe two interviews left in the process. So I think at this point, so long as I don't screw up by saying something crazy, I don't want to. Let me just shut up. I don't, because as soon as I say I think I'm gonna get the offer, it ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. I'm confident, but I'm not gonna say one way or another. But I think I got one or two interviews left with them, and then the other company, I had the first interview yesterday. Apparently, which is kind of shocking to me, but apparently it's only a two interview process. So the interview I had yesterday with them, and then the next interview, if I go forward, would be a panel interview. So um, with like, more people and whatnot, right? But the first interview was with the VP of sales. I think it went pretty good. Um, Obviously, if I go to the next interview, then I would have been right about that interview going good, going well. So that's it, man. And then so that's kind of where we are. A couple other companies. I talked to a recruiter here in 30 minutes. A recruiter's gonna call me. I set up another interview for tomorrow. Um, Actually, so both of those are first interviews. So this one in 30 minutes is with Paycom, a recruiter from Paycom, and then the one tomorrow is with like some startup called Q4. Um, Paycom, I think, a little bit bigger company or whatever. Um, but we're trying to do this thing where I'm having at least one interview a day. Ideally, I would say like 2 to 3 interviews a day. Because Shorty has put in so many applications for me, I expect interview requests to pick up next week. Basically over the next week or two. I expect to get a lot more recruiters reaching out and trying to set up those interviews and whatnot. Again, just off the sheer number of applications that she's put in. So yeah, man, that's where we are. I think once one offer comes in, I think the dominoes will start to, what I'm saying? I think I'll start, that's when things will heat up, because then I'll be able to tell companies, oh, I just got an offer from this company. You know what I mean? It would be great if I could get like 2 offers at the same time, because then I can leverage the two. See, that's the other thing. Like and I know I'm talking a lot today, but again, believe it or not, we've already been pretty productive today. The how do I say, the strength or the benefit, the advantage of getting 2 offers at the same time is I'll obviously be able to leverage the two to get higher compensation, right? I'll be able to tell each company, well, I already got an offer from this company for this much, right? Obviously, more than likely one of the offers will be more than the other one. So I'll be able to leverage the offer that's more to the company that's offering less and say, okay, yeah, if you want me, you got to offer me more than this company's offering me. You know what I'm saying? You got to match or offer me more. And obviously, if I get 3 offers at the same time, right, then that gives me even more leverage, to be able to leverage the 3 offers to get higher compensation. So I've been real transparent with y'all about what I'm looking for. It's gonna be tough to get there. I know it's not gonna be easy to get there, but I'm not shy about it, or the confidence is there. You know what I'm saying? We not we don't shy away from being compensated the way I feel like I should be compensated. So I'm looking for a minimum of $200,000 base salary, and then I want either uncapped commissions, which means I can earn anything, above $200,000 a year, as much as I sell, right? I can earn as much as I want. So either uncapped commission like that, or, which I guess would be the best case scenario, or double on target earnings, right? So $200,000 base, up to another $200,000, so $400,000 total, based on commission, right? I'm looking for an offer structure like that. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're looking for. And if I get a couple offers where I'm able to leverage that, like if I'm able to leverage 2 or 3 offers at the same time, let's say they're all around 150, right? Which, I think is kind of reasonable for, for a couple of the companies I'm interviewing for right now. I don't think any of them are going to offer 200. If they do, great. You know what I'm saying? That's perfect. But I just don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that they might be bullshitting a little bit. They're not going to offer quite 200. So I'm just going to say they offer 150. Like, one company offers 150, the other one offers 140 or something like that. I mean, and we're talking about base salary right now. Well, I'm going to tell that person, the company that's offering 140, if they want me, they got to offer me 165. You know what I'm saying? Um, and or something like that, right? If it's three offers and I get one for 150, another one for 160, and another one for 140, right? Like the one that's 150, I'm like, I need y'all to come up to 175 base. You know what I'm saying? Um, you see what I'm saying? So that I'm gonna leverage those offers to get to the base salary I want. I'm cool with the incentives. I plan on working as hard as possible to to reach the incentives and stuff too. Don't get this shit twisted, right? We're still gonna be trying to hit our target earnings, our quota, and everything like that. But base is extremely important to me. I want my because when I think about base, like let's just be honest, right? Let's just keep it a buck. Base is just like it sounds, right? Like this means whatever I'm getting paid on a bi-weekly or semi-monthly basis can take care of all my needs, can take care of the lifestyle I want to live, and then some, right? 100,000 doesn't really do it anymore. Okay, that was some years back. That was some years ago, right? We want 200, and I told you I want two jobs that's paying me 200, but so I really want 400. But I'm saying from each job at least 200. Okay, that will give me the lifestyle I'm looking to live. That's the life that will give me the lifestyle I want. Right? I'm at that stage in life where I feel like there's a certain way I want to live. There's a certain lifestyle I want to live. There's certain things I want to be able to afford and do. Um, Now, even 400,000, right? Two jobs paying $200,000 base, that still ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it as being. That still ain't it. But it's a starting point, right? That would have definitely allowed me to eat the way I want to eat, do some of the things I want to do, go some of the places I want to go, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? It would just put me in a good spot. Um, it would give me a really, really strong starting point, basically. Um, oh, here's my dad right here. Let's see what he's talking about. What's up, Dad?
Miles, how are you?
I'm good, Dad. How are you?
I'm all right. What's going on?
Nothing much. Nothing much. I see you called, last night, so I was calling you back. Called you back last night. Um, and like I called you earlier today, so I was just calling you back.
Okay. B wanted to talk to you because she got the right person, one of the right people that she can talk to at Lockheed,
Okay.
and we want to know particulars from you, and so if you, I think, yeah, she need to talk to you. I told her she need to talk to you because I didn't know. I know sales. That's all I know. Sales, but I know it's you got the computer science thing, and computer science is engineering. But so, anyways, about the jobs, it's something that you have seen on Lockheed website or what have you. Just something that you seeking. You just need to talk to her about it so she can direct it to her people.
Okay. All right. Um, yeah, I can. I can definitely set up some time to chat with Beverly about that. Um, but like you said, yeah. So like you said, it's just sales. I mean, again, I'm over the computer science thing. It's a good, like engineering. I'm over that. Um, it's a good thing to have in my background, or my like in my experience and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, my portfolio and whatnot. A lot of these um, hiring managers and recruiters, when they see that I have that computer science degree, engineering background, they they tend to like, they like it. But
Yeah, because they're gonna like it. It's huge.
yeah, it's just good to understand. It's good to have in tech sales because they figure that I know what I'm selling better than most salespeople, basically. Like if you're in tech sales, you understand the tech that you're selling better than the average salesperson. So so that has been a plus for me. But again, in terms of me working in an engineering role, those days are behind me. But yeah, I'll talk to Beverly for sure. I'll text her today, and then we'll hop on a call for sure.
All right.
Yeah. Is this the same person that you were talking about, or it's a different person?
No, this is a different person. Yeah, the person I'm talking about don't have that kind of pull. This person that I'm talking about, I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I can tell you, this person um, is the first black president that we had at Lockheed. Is his wife, and B is pregnant, and she texts B every day.
Hmm. Okay.
So I told her, I said, that may be something that you don't want to take to her, but the position that you're in, and surely being black, she would understand because this lady, she loved the Lord. I can't speak for her husband because he's a piece of crap for an officer.
Yeah, you told me about him. Yeah, you told me about him.
Yeah, yeah. But like I say, B says she texts her every day. So they've been friends since B was at Lockheed. Um, so yeah, it's his wife. Okay. So him, even though he was the president, and he's not there no more, but he's got to go out. He still can make calls and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the person that Beverly's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. She tell it to the wife, and he's gonna do whatever the wife telling him to do. Bottom line, like most men. So if like I told her, I noticed that you may not want to. She said, no, I do want to do it. I will do it. I'll talk to her. Okay. Then I don't. I said, just give me. Let me talk to Miles.
Yeah.
And then I said, call Mike. I said, you call him and he call you. I don't need to. I just made the connect. I don't need to be in the conversation about that.
Yeah.
I say Miles know what he's trying to do, so you need to talk to him and let him give you whatever he's trying to do.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just still just been going on interviews and stuff. I got another interview in like at 4, so in like 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
This is with a company called Paycom. So you know, we'll see how that goes. This one is the first interview, and then got another interview tomorrow. So that's what I've been spending most of my time doing is going on interviews, really. There's a couple companies I'm in like the later stages. So the thing about these companies, a lot of them, this isn't like years ago when you have 1 or 2 interviews and then you get the job offer. You got to go through 4 or 5 different rounds of interviews.
Yeah.
So I'm in the later rounds with a couple of companies. So we'll see how that, what I'm saying, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, you handle it right, and so, the key thing is just keep your faith in God and trust Him. This guy, have it work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the key to it. Keeping him first.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear about the what the Falcons did?
No. Well, they don't tell me that's something dumb already. No. Go ahead. So, crazy. What's up?
They then hired the Browns coach, Cleveland Browns old head coach.
The one that fired Shakur?
Yeah, the one that was giving Shakur all them problems.
Uh,
Shador Sanders. Yeah.
what? What he did, man? Come on. I thought they would try to pick up Deion Sanders, somebody, but Deion needs to get out of that weather he's in.
Yeah.
Because his illnesses. Man, that's messed up right there.
Yeah.
That's jacked up.
It's just so stupid.
I honestly think they do that. I don't get it, man. What is the losing coach?
Huh?
Wasn't he a losing coach for some years?
Yeah. 8-26 over the past 2 years.
Oh man, God, dog. How in the world did that happen? They are so freaking stupid. They go from bad to worse.
Yep.
They don't want no championship team. No, they don't. Well, that means the same boat we in then.
This was so. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this was so stupid. This move right here, what they just did, is so stupid. I wasn't even gonna talk about it. I told him I wasn't, because usually stuff like this happens. Me and Miguel talk about it, stuff like that. I'll call him. We talk about it. I wasn't even gonna call Miguel to talk about it.
Wow. They are so bright, aren't they?
8-26 over the past 2 seasons.
How you hire somebody 8-26? I mean, nobody's stupid enough to do that dumb. God, dog it, man. They don't tell how much money they gave this idiot.
Yeah,
they might well have to find it from the street.
Yeah, I think they said 10 million or something a year, something like that.
Oh Lord. Oh boy, man.
So I'm done. I can't support the team. I can't support the team like I used to. I can't support that. I told Miguel and like my mom and everybody, like I can't support him like I used to. This too dumb. So I told myself, I said I'm gonna have to find multiple hobbies. I gotta find some new hobbies to fill my time. When the season comes around.
Golf, that's what you need to do.
Yeah, I was like golf. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, golf. Hopefully do some more traveling, whatever. Just get into some other sports like that. But yeah, golf was one of the ones I was thinking. Um, but yeah, I can't support that. It's just too dumb. There ain't nothing I can say to defend something like this. Nothing.
So how do they defend it? How do the Glenn? So this was Matt doing, right?
Yeah, basically, yep.
How do he support that?
Yeah, I don't know. He basically tried to say they wanted to get a coach.
Man.
Yeah, he tried to say some stupid. He was like they tried to get a coach that they wanted to get a coach that had head coaching experience and was going to hold his players accountable, and that's two of the things he said: head coaching experience, and he was going to hold the players accountable. Some of the other candidates in the pool were like coordinators. They hadn't been head coaches before.
Now, didn't he get fired or what?
Yeah, he got fired from Cleveland.
You pick up a fire coach.
Yeah, he just got fired from Cleveland a couple weeks ago.
Mm.
So when we start losing next season, I don't want to hear nobody can be surprised about it. It shouldn't. I don't want to hear nobody talking about like it's some type of phenomenon or whatever. Like this is losing should be expected. That's all he's done over the past few years. So I can't support that. I thought Matt was gonna come in and do something. I thought he was gonna get us moving in the right direction, and I was wrong.
Somebody needs the fan base needs to be jacking his phone up big time.
Oh, the fan base is in uproar. You go on social media and stuff, like the fan base is in uproar about it. Nobody, people do not like this move at all for the reason I just said. And my thing was, my biggest thing was we can talk about X's and O's. We can talk about, the players. We can talk about, who picks the players and, what they call on the field, what the play calling is like. We can talk about all of that, the scheme. Are you winning football games or not?
That's the bottom line.
And all he's done is lose. He's a loser. This is not, my take on this was they overcomplicated it. They galaxy brain this. That's what they did. They made this they act like this is some type of complex thing, and he's a losing coach, but his scheme is good, and he was just in a bad organization in Cleveland with the owner, and does he win football games or not?
That's the bottom line. There you go. That's what it's about. Do we win or not? It ain't no, oh Lord mercy, man. Bunch of ignoramuses you talking about. Ignoramuses, God, dog it.
And then what made it so much more stupid, what made it so much more dumb, so the rumor was that the Falcons were looking at hiring the Seahawks offensive coordinator. The Seahawks offensive coordinator led the best offense in the league all season. His team, the Seahawks, are still playing. They play in the NFC Championship game this weekend.
Right.
And they just beat the 49ers last week 41-6 on national TV. They completely. Yeah, did you see it or hear about it? Yeah. His offense just ran all over the 49ers. The 49ers are one of the best teams in the league this year. And they made him look like it was a high school JV team.
Yeah.
How do you see him coaching like that on offense and not want to hire him? And not hire him? You're gonna go hire the losing coach.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm done. Every off season, you know this, right? Every off season, I've kept up with the team, what moves they making, what players they brought in, who they drafted, what they doing in free agency, coaches they brought in, whatever. I ain't doing it this off season. It's over. I ain't doing it this off season. All that stuff is in the past. I can't say I'm not going to watch the games at all. But I'm going to give him basically one game. Like, it's the way I'm gonna look at it this season is like, if he's losing, I'm not watching that. You know what I'm saying? I can't support that. That's why I say I'm gonna have to golf. I'm gonna have to be golfing. I'm gonna have to be golfing, tennis, something in the fall when the season starts. Cause I don't like this. I can't deal with stuff like stupid stuff like this. Just I can't support it. I can't support stupid stuff like that. it makes my head hurt to like even think about it. It's just the whole thing is stupid. So yeah, that's what they did. All they had to do, the only thing they had to do was hire Kubiak, the Seahawks offensive coordinator, and we were gonna be straight. But nope. Because they talking like Kubiak gonna be the next Shanahan. Now we can say what we want about Shanahan, and he did screw up the Super Bowl for us. Okay, but the 49ers, the team he's head coach of now, they've been competitive and in the NFC Championship game basically every other year. They've been competitive every year since he's been the head coach there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like they always in the mix. Like they were one game away again from being in the NFC Championship game.
Okay, Miles. Sorry, I gotta step in this office. Doctor's office right quick.
All right, Dad. I'll talk to you. All right, love you.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later on. Okay.
All right, love you. Bye. Yeah, bro. I can't support the stupid stuff. There's nothing I can't do it, bro. I love this team. I've loved this team since I was 13. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, 12, 13. Um, you know, so, um, but I can't support them like I used to, bro. It's just too stupid. And I don't care what anybody tries to say. You got all the talking heads. They try to sugarcoat it and try to look at the bright side. There's no bright side. He's a loser, right? You can't. That's it. He's a loser. How am I supposed to support that? I don't care, bro. You either win games or you don't. Right? They overcomplicated it. They overanalyzed this thing. They made it bigger. They galaxy branded. This was this very simple concept. Give me the coach who can win games, or at the very least, give me the coach who has proven that he can call plays in this league, aka Clint Kubiak, who can call plays in this league, and has shown that his offensive scheme works. Right? It can dominate. Like he just dominated one of the best teams in the league in the 49ers last week. Like I was telling my dad, like, come on, bro. Just dumbass shit, bro. And like anything else, you know what I'm saying? I hope that I'm proven wrong, but I'm I'm also not dumb, bro. I was right about when we hired Raheem Morris. I knew that was gonna be a bad move. I hated it from day one. I knew he was gonna be a failure. What happened? You know what I'm saying? So, like I told my dad, I can't support stupidity. I can't support, what I'm saying, just moronic behavior. I can't support that. It's finally time for me to emotionally um, separate myself from this team. This is definitely the year to do that, without no doubt. We're gonna say that song won't stop. Got out the dirt without no doubt. In this song, we can't be the same fan that we were before, without no doubt. Too dumb. Like I said, all the talking head trying to spin it. Talk about, oh, it's a good hire. He's a really good coach, and this and that. Bro's a loser, man. I'm about to get a call from this recruiter. I think her name is Ashley. I'm gonna get a call from her in about I guess within seconds. She's gonna be calling. Pull up my resume so I can speak to that if need be. She's gonna call. She's gonna call any second now. I just realized I'm not sharing my screen with y'all. Hold on. She a minute late too, by the way. She's supposed to call me at 4. I'll let it charge it a little bit longer before I share my screen. There she is. Actually calling me. Miles Hannah.
Hey, Michael, this is Ashley. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Ashley. How are you?
Good, good. Is now still a good time for us to get connected?
Yeah, no, this is a great time.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, how's your day going, Miles?
It's going well, going well. Can't complain. It's pretty cold outside here in Atlanta, but other than that, it's been going well. What about you?
Yeah, it's been good. I know there's supposed to be some crazy weather happening here. I think either tomorrow or this weekend.
Yeah, it's a whole like snowstorm coming in, so had
Yes,
to go ahead
well,
and get my groceries and all that, and now I'm like kind of gonna be cooped up for the weekend. So
absolutely. Well, stay safe in the crazy weather.
yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, well, what I want to do today, Miles, I know I reached out to you on LinkedIn just from looking through your background. I think you'd be a great fit for an opportunity we have here at Paycom. So, what I'm going to do with our time is just to learn a little bit more about you, give you a chance to be able to
This is
elaborate
an
on your
interview.
background.
For
There's a
context,
couple
this
of
is
things
an
I'm
interview
curious
with
about. I
Paycom,
see you have some really great metrics
the
and
first
KPIs, so
interview.
definitely want to dig into those. And then share about Paycom and the account executive role that we have here. And then we can talk compensation, timeline, any questions that you may have, and anything else that I'm maybe missing that you want to get out of our conversation here today.
No, I think that's all. That's all pretty clear, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, initially, what encouraged you to take the call with me? Are you actively looking for a new opportunity, or are you just putting feelers out there? I'm curious there.
Yeah, just kind of putting feelers out there right now. You know, I just think it's always important to kind of keep your options open. You know, and yeah, so just really putting feelers out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, not necessarily active in a job search, but what would be some of the top criteria that you're looking for as you're putting feelers out there, something you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I think one, um, some of the criteria, I think, you know, being able to um, be fully remote. That's something that I am looking for right now. I would say also um, my current my current role is not fully uncapped commission, so that's something that I am looking for in my next role as well. Um, and then just being somewhere where I can continue to um, kind of grow in sales leadership. That's something that I'm extremely passionate about. Um, and I think right now, like some of the leadership positions are somewhat set in stone. So I kind of want to be in a position where I can kind of grow again in that sales leadership role. Maybe like
Absolutely.
director of sales, a few years down the road or something like that.
Yeah, of course. Well, definitely happy to talk more on just uncapped commission and looking to grow in leadership. We can absolutely discuss that. I do want to talk about being fully remote. So our role here at Paycom is a hybrid in the sense that it's half of your time is in office, the other half is meeting face to face with prospects. So I know that's your number one criteria for something you're looking for in opportunities. So I wanted to address that initially. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I would be considered to hybrid. I would consider hybrid if if everything else is aligned. If we're aligned on
Okay.
everything else, I would consider hybrid. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So, like I talked about, it is you're spending half of your time in the Atlanta office. Our office is actually located in Buckhead, if you're familiar with that area. And then the
Yeah.
other half would be you in a zip code protected territory. So every account executive at Paycom gets their own protected territory that you're responsible to go and meet in person all of those prospects. So if we can align there, then I'd love to continue our conversation. But I want to be respectful of your time if you are set in stone on looking for something remote.
Yeah. So no, I think that that's still, again, I think if everything else aligns, that would be
Okay.
something I'd be interested in.
Okay.
I didn't even know that Paycom. I didn't even know that the role was like kind of based here in Atlanta. So that's pretty interesting to me because I do think I want to stay in Atlanta for the foreseeable future. So
Oh, that's great. Okay, yes. Yeah, Paycom, we have about 60 offices nationwide, so we definitely have a lot of opportunity there, but we definitely got some offices in Atlanta, so that sounds great long term.
for sure.
Okay, well, great. So, talking about Paycom, I don't ask this as a test or anything, but what do you currently know about Paycom, or should I start there?
Yeah, if you could start there, that would be great. So yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, great. Well, Paycom, really what we do here is we are selling all things HR and payroll. So our product, it streamlines those processes for all of our clients, and we do that because we're built in a single cloud-based software that you would get to sell. So when you think about solutions for our clients, think about things like applicant tracking or onboarding, all the way through time tracking and benefits and learning, all through payroll. All of those components we sell in a single database. And if you're anything like me, I'm sure that you're wanting to sell for the leader in the industry. And so I want to tell you immediately what makes us different in the market and why we are an industry leader. What makes us stand out is that we are the only application in industry that is built from a single database. So all other competitors in the market, their technology is built off of fragmented systems, and we can absolutely talk more about that. But we are in a single database, and so we're able to own all of our data and house all of that data and use what's called decisioning logic. And so that's what allows us to grow public, and we've had double-digit year-over-year growth since 2014. So really what the role is as an account executive is you are able to streamline the process, not only for executives, but for all of the employees and their families using that technology. So about the specific account executive role in particular, I know we talked about the day-to-day. So you're spending Mondays, Tuesday mornings, and Fridays in office. That's going to be where you're in the office prospecting, going and generating leads, you're cold calling, you're setting all of those appointments. And then Tuesday afternoon, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, that's whenever you're in the territory meeting with those clients on those sales calls. So AEs here at Paycom, they are running the entire process. So you're running demos, you're setting those appointments all the way through until the close. So you're going to have, it's a full consultative selling role that it's a full sales cycle. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that really fits what I'm accustomed to and what my strengths are. So yeah, full cycle selling. That's what I've been doing for several years now. So that's a space that I'm really comfortable in. So yeah.
All right, amazing. Well, I want to be able to toss it to you and just give you a chance to expand more on your experience. I want us to actually start at your college experience. So I know you went to Morehouse College and
Sure.
obtained your bachelor's degree. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, walk me through your time at college. Maybe any involvement that you had there, if you were like in Greek life, or if you played any sports, or just took any leadership positions. But let's start there.
Yeah. So I didn't go Greek. That was something that some of my friends did, but I wasn't as interested in going Greek. So yeah, I mean, it was a great time there. I was involved in. I was president of the computer science club there. What else? It's been a long time ago, so I'm trying to think back. I graduated in 2018. Um, was involved in the business club as well at Morehouse. So that was something I was active in. And I mean, ultimately, while I was there, I think what I learned mostly from my time at Morehouse was how to be a leader. Morehouse is very unique from other institutions because I'm not sure if you're familiar, but it's an HBCU, number one ranked HBCU to be exact. But it's all about teaching young men how to become men. So kind of one of the things we always like, kind of our motto is well traveled, well spoken, well dressed, well educated, so on and so forth. So it's just a really proud school with very proud alumni. Martin Luther King Day was a couple of days ago, and he went to Morehouse, as well as other like prominent black male leaders, Samuel Jackson, Spike Lee, so on and so forth. So it's a really proud tradition there. But yeah, I graduated there in 2018 with my bachelor's in computer science, as you mentioned. Fresh out of school, I worked in corporate finance as a software engineer. So working Fortune 500 as in software engineering, I hated it actually. So did not like it at all. I just did it really to appease my parents. And then from there, I transitioned into product. So I worked in product for a couple years. And as a product manager, I was like really learning I was understanding why we wanted to build certain things as opposed to just building whatever I was told to build. And so that was cool, kind of managing the software developers and product. But I wanted to have more like a bigger impact on the business, right? Like on the bottom line. And so that's what led me into sales a few years back. I felt like in sales, of course, you have a direct impact on the success of the business, and that's kind of where I find myself today.
Yeah, well, I saw that in college you did computer science and then you went as a software engineer, so I was definitely curious about that, but that totally makes sense. You went in there out of school, went into product, did some finance, but wanted a bigger impact on the business. So that's great. So from that product role, then you went into enterprise sales. Is that correct? You went to that strategic partnerships lead?
Yep, correct.
Okay, great. Okay, so you were at this company for about a little over 2 years, and then transitioned into your current role. Talk to me about that transition, maybe why you made that move.
Yeah, so for me, I wanted to I guess the reason I made the move is I wanted to work with, kind of get back into tech, fintech to be specific. So at my role back in the Ascend, I was working with financial services companies, so mainly RIAs, wealth managers, and that was great. I got a lot of great experience doing that, but it's so compliance driven, and sometimes that can slow deals down, and things like that. So that's what led me to kind of transition into back into SaaS sales, specifically tech sales, at Trinity Neurons.
Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. So talk to me a little about what you're doing right now at your current organization. So Trending Neurons, and what are you guys selling there?
Sure. So we're selling basically AI predictive analysis for day traders. So I know that's like a bunch of like you know lingo. But basically, we help traders understand what, why, and when to trade. Through predictive analytics, right? So basically, we partner with trading platforms. So you could think Robinhood, NinjaTrader, TradingView. We partner with platforms like that, and integrate, our analytics to help traders understand what trades they should be making and when.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you mentioned earlier that you're definitely more comfortable with the full cycle sales role. Is that what you're doing currently? Are you working from prospecting to setting appointments all the way through the close?
Yes, so I'm handling the full sales cycle. So, starting with building my targeted list, right? So that's typically built through looking at key indicators. So it can be fundraising, the revenue that the company has, any new like key employees that they've brought on, things like that. One of the things I like to do too is actually become the user of their product myself. That helps me like understand what pain points or challenges are within their platform, and that helps to start initiate those conversations with leadership and start that sales process. So I'm taking them through prospecting to all the way through discovery to demo, and then procurement, negotiation, and close. My discovery process is, I like to call it, I do a lot more listening than talking, because I found that the more I let the buyer talk, the more they express their challenges and pain points, and that gives me more ammo for how to sell to them, better understand the problem and how to sell to them. And so, of course, demo from there, and then, like I said, negotiation and ultimately closing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, great. I love that call out of doing more listening than talking and finding their pain through the analysis. I definitely agree with that. I think that's great. Are you typically setting appointments through cold calling, or how does that work?
Yeah, so cold calling somewhat. I've done a lot of cold calling, more so in my previous role. So that's something I'm actually really comfortable doing. But these days it's more LinkedIn outreach. I found that I can, typically start conversations a little bit easier that way, and people are a little bit more active on LinkedIn than they are to answer, a call from someone they don't know.
Yeah. Do you have like specific metrics around setting appointments either through cold calling or through LinkedIn outreaches on how many meetings you're willing to set every week?
Yeah, so I think I have certain outputs that I target, and then obviously I measure them through basically outbound touches. So I start with 100 touches, daily. So that can be through multi-channel. I'm of course measuring response rate from there. So how many people I'm actually getting in contact with. I measure my getting in contact to disco. So I measure that rate as well. And basically from disco to demo. Win rate, of course, is another metric I use, and yeah, and then velocity as well. So how quickly I am, closing deals from initial outreach to close, how long that's taking, and is that growing, which hopefully it should not be growing, or is that shrinking? So those are a few of the metrics I use.
Great. Well, in talking about velocity, how long is an average sales cycle typically?
Yeah, so right now, my average sales cycle is anywhere from 120 to 180 days, so anywhere from 4 to 6 months. And that's just because our product is it's pretty complex and requires like a more education, for the buyers. Um, so yeah, it's typically that's mainly due to the complexity of the projects and the ACVs that I typically close.
Yeah, yeah, great. And then what is the average size of the account that you typically work? I know you're an enterprise account executive, but what would you say is the average deal size?
Yeah, so the average deal size right now is right around 500,000. Um, so yeah,
Yeah. And then what I know you mentioned that your average sales cycle is typically 4 to 6 months, and then your average deal size is around 500K. Where does that rank among your peers, would you say?
yeah. So among my peers, I've consistently ranked in top 10%. Amongst the other AEs on my team, and that's been the case for the last couple years now. So right now, so we just finished the last fiscal year. I finished right at 120% of my quota. So just over quota. So that was something I was really excited about.
Yeah,
And yeah.
yeah, that's great. And then among your peers, I know you say you're in the top 10%. That's also incredible.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know with sales, I mean, there's obviously lots of highs, lots of lows that comes with the role, and it sounds like you're doing really, really well in your current role. What motivates you to stay up at the top 10%?
Yeah, I think ultimately I've found, and a lot of my friends, my peers tell me this, that I'm like one of the most resilient people they know. Um, so I've just found myself to be very resilient, and to push through when things get hard. I think that's something that I kind of pride myself on and what motivates me. Um, I think in the past I've seen some of my colleagues in the past, and of course I won't air anyone out, right? But some of my colleagues in the past they've gotten discouraged, right, when they hear no from a prospect, or when a deal doesn't go through or what have you. But I just understand that's part of the process. Like that's just sales, and again just being resilient and continuing to push through.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Okay, well, that is all of the questions that I have for you, but I want to talk a little bit more about things like compensation and timeline and training and things like that, if that all sounds good to you.
Sounds great.
Okay, alrighty. Well, I want to talk about compensation with the role that I reached out to you about, just so that way we can make sure we align there. I know I sent you a little bit on LinkedIn, but wanted to recap as a refresher. So the role has a base and then also an uncapped commission structure. So the base is at $100,000. You also, on top of the 100,000, get 11,000 as an insurance allowance as well, that's paid out, and then commission structure is completely uncapped. It starts off at 12% at whenever you start off. So typical one as a first year rep. Typically, reps are making around 170, anywhere from mid 200s. as a first year rep, and then once you get promoted, which typically takes about 12 to 15 months, here, once you sell those first 10 accounts, then you're promoted to what's called an executive sales rep or an executive AE. What you get to do at that point is your commission then goes up to a sliding scale, anywhere from 15 to 42%. So that's where you start to see a big jump around year 2 and 3. That's where reps typically make anywhere from about 450 to upwards of 800 to, we've had reps who W2'd out at over $1 million. So any questions about the compensation for the role?
Yes. So, the insurance, we are talking about, you said 11K annual. What type of insurance are we talking? Are we talking about health insurance or?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. That
Yeah.
is for your like cell phone, your internet allowance. Now, we also will provide for you, we have benefits insurance and dental and vision, and we've got a ton of benefit package that will also be provided you as an employee here, but the 11,000 is just for your cell phone, your internet allowance.
Okay. Okay. Um, and then you said, I think you mentioned 12%, commission for, year one, and then it can go up to around 40% going forward, year two, three. Is that, uh, so I guess my question is that trailing? So like, is that something that carries, year to year, or is that just something that is kind of a one-time commission, per sale?
Great question. So I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Whenever you sell a business, sell an account, you are commissioned out one time for that account. It's not like you'll get residuals. I want to make sure that might have been your question.
Right.
Also, whenever it comes to this sliding scale, once you're promoted to an exec rep, you stay an exec rep. So it's not like you'll go back to making that 12% commission. Once you're an executive rep, then you'll stay on that sliding scale. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, for the most part, I think that answers the question.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I also want to bring up training because I know initially for you, you're looking to stay in Atlanta. Whenever we have our training program, that is a 7-week training program that some of it is travel. So I want to be upfront about that, make sure that we can be on the same page there. So for initially in travel, a few of those weeks are going to either be in Oklahoma City or in Grapevine, Texas. Of course, Paycom is going to cover all the flights and the hotels and the meals and all of that fun stuff, rental cars, things like that. But I want to make sure that that's something that you're excited about. For us, our training program is all hands-on from our executive leadership and our CSO that are going to be directly training you. So they walk you through the entire sales process. You're with also a cohort of other new hires as well, but it's all based off of role play to make sure you feel really, really comfortable to go back to Atlanta and sell in your territory. Any questions about or any hesitations about the training program?
No. I think that sounds interesting to me. I think getting that hands-on training from executive leadership is, something that I would embrace. Something that I would, enjoy. Um, and then just, I guess my one question I have about it is, and maybe I missed, but how often is it, and how long does it last? Like, how often is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you just kind of walk me through that a little bit?
Absolutely. Yes. So our training program is 7 weeks. You'll be traveling for about 4 to 5 of those weeks. The other 2, you'll be actually in your office. After the training program ends, then you'll be fully in Atlanta selling in your territory. About once a year, we occasionally will have training programs where reps will get to fly in and A's will get to fly in and do additional training programs, but your initial new hire training is just at 7 weeks.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
To give you a timeline as well, our next training program that if everything aligns, and we'll talk about timeline and next steps and things like that. But just to give you a heads up, our next training program starts on March 30th, and then the 7 weeks would go from there, just so that way you can have an idea of your calendar.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Well, if you don't have any more questions for me, then I'll talk you through next steps. But want to give you a chance to ask anything else before we do that.
No, actually, that's exactly what I was gonna ask you next. So you kind of beat me to the punch.
Okay, well, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what I want us to do here, Miles, is I'm going to send you a link to our application. It really shouldn't take you more than about 5 to 10 minutes. All that you'll have to do is upload your resume. So if you've got an updated resume, go ahead and upload that in the link that I'll send you. And then as far as the questions go on the application, you can feel free to answer very briefly. Since we've had this conversation here today, you can put in there that you talked with me. It's totally fine. Once I get that application back from you, then I want to connect with our Atlanta manager. Her name is Kelsey. She's been with Paycom now coming up on 10 years in the Atlanta market. So
Oh wow.
we'll look over your resume here together. And then from there, should we decide moving you forward, then we'll want to get you connected so that way you guys can have your next conversation there. But any questions about that process?
No, that sounds good to me.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, Miles, what I'm going to do from here, I'll send you that link. If you have any questions about the application, please let me know. Be happy to help.
All right, sounds good. And I'll get a chance to look at it a little bit later today because I'm gonna be traveling. But yeah, I should be submitting that later today or tonight.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, Miles. Have a great one.
All right, you too, Ashley. Bye. Okay, that is the end of the interview. That was the first interview, specifically the recruiter interview with Ashley White at Paycom. My bad, y'all. You know, I record all these interviews so that I'm like, so I can reference them back. You know what I'm saying? I got all these interviews I've recorded that I haven't. You know what I'm saying? I just got them recorded, but I haven't done anything with them yet. I was gonna transcribe them all, give them to ChatGPT, and then let ChatGPT basically coach me on what I did well in all these interviews, what I haven't done well, so on and so forth. So that's why I record them, so that I can improve in the with interviewing. I think that one went pretty well. You know what I mean? I'm not really that excited about the role because the compensation isn't what I'm looking for. She told me a bunch of great numbers. It all sounded good. You know what I'm saying? But that base salary is just too low. It's just period. It's just too low. But that's why I like that they have the uncapped commission. That's great. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like companies like that, they try to make it sound better by telling you, you know, the uncapped commission and the when you sell whatever, you know, it's 12% and then go up to 40%. And if you do that, you can make up to this much in a year or whatever. It's a bunch of fluff, right, to make the compensation sound better. And that's why I never understand why people say, like, you know, base isn't, base isn't everything. That's true, right? Especially in sales roles, right? Like the real money is definitely made, like, outside of your base, but let's not kid ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Base is still extremely important to kind of have a standard. I call it like basically just to have that standard, that constant, standard of living. And my constant standard of living cannot be at 100K. right? The only way I would accept this role is if, we get rolling. Their interview process is fairly, fairly quick. You know what I mean? Like if their interview process doesn't take forever in a day, and they're like the first offer, and some of the other companies I'm interviewing with don't offer me. You know what I'm saying? Like if the interview process again goes quickly, and I don't have any interview or offers from anywhere else, and Paycom has already offered me, then maybe, I'll think about it just so I can get, get shit moving, right? Get shit, moving in the right direction. But otherwise, nah, bro. 100 ain't gonna do it. 100, it ain't gonna do it, bro. I feel like at this point, everybody and their mama make 100. Like it's easy to make 100K, right? My girl don't make nowhere near 100K. She make like half of that, okay? And I just sent her. I made a couple of change. I made some changes and optimized her resume a little bit, and now she's applying to roles where, if she gets an offer from one of these roles, she's gonna be making 100K. You see what I'm saying? Like making 100K is nothing anymore. It's not the stand. It's not what it used to be. This ain't 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and from what she's telling me, I'm gonna be doing a bunch. I'm gonna be traveling a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I know she said something about 11K car, whatever gas reimbursement or whatever. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna be traveling as much as she says I'm gonna be traveling, 11K is nothing. It's genuinely nothing. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm not gonna waste my time with this opportunity. I will probably tell her when she messages me back. It just depends, bro. It depends. I just don't see any. I don't see any harm in like continuing the interview process because again, I want to get. I feel like once I get an offer, the other offers are just gonna roll in, right? And even though 100K ain't shit, it is important that I get the other offers, like get an offer come in, and I just feel like it's gonna be a snowball effect from there. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be a snowball effect from there. Get one offer, then I'm gonna get a second one. I'm gonna get a third. You see what I'm saying? And then that's when I can, toot my nose up to 100K. Like, oh, that ain't 100K ain't gonna do it. You see what I'm saying? But right now it's like, I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm basically trying not to turn my nose up at 100K when I ain't making shit right now. You see what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. I've humbled myself to understand, like, bro, you gotta just kind of, you gotta be where you gotta stand 10 toes down. You gotta be where your feet are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand where you are in your life, right? Like where you are financially, and where I am financially is I ain't making shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't making nothing. Period. Nothing. So, I gotta, what they say, beggars can't be choosers. That's what they say. Beggars cannot be choosers. Um, okay, she just texted me. Ashley, the recruiter, just texted me. Um, and said she feels like I would be a good fit for the team and all that stuff. So we'll see. Anybody else I interview with, I think if I get what would it would be technically it would be the fifth interview with Stevo X if I go to the interview, but they are treating it like the third interview because it would be the third interview with like leadership. You know what I'm saying? The first two interviews were with recruiters from like the third party. recruiting company that they're working with. But again, to me, it'd be the fifth interview. So if I go forward to the fifth interview with Steve X, I expect to hear whether I'm gonna move forward or not in the next couple of days. I thought the interview went well. Probably the best, if not one of the best interviews I've had. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? So, um, hmm. But yeah, so what I was gonna say is if I get the fifth interview with them, um, and we already know, the base salary with them would be, I don't want to say much higher than 100K, but I think they would probably offer me somewhere around 150. You know what I'm saying? Which 50K to me is not much higher than 100. Much higher than 100K is like double that. I would say 200K is much higher than 100K. But like somebody making 100K or somebody making 200K, in my opinion, live two very different lifestyles. Okay. But like I've seen somebody who's making 100, 200K, and I've seen what someone who makes 100K lives like. You know what I mean? It's two different things. So anyway, um, I know that like if I shit, what was I about to say? If I go to the fifth interview with Stevo, um, anybody else I'm still interviewing with, I'm gonna tell them, look, I'm going to a fifth interview here. If y'all want me, if y'all consider me as for this role, I'm talking about for the other companies, right? If y'all consider me for this role, y'all gonna have to speed up the interview process. Y'all moving too slow. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get this thing moving. Um, and I would imagine, right, that anybody where any company that has me as a candidate, any other company, they probably would start moving a little bit faster, right? Like I mean, it's just human nature. They're like, okay, yeah, he's closing in on an offer from this company. If they like me, right? Like if they already were like considering hiring me, then they probably will, speed up their interview process at that point. If I say I've already gotten an offer or whatever, from another company or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to the last interview round with another company, you know. So we'll see. But yeah, I know I told Ashley again. I just told her a bunch of whatever because um, I don't want to disqualify myself from that opportunity, off the rip. But I'm trying to stick to my plan. My plan is to get two jobs, right? Each paying me at least 200K base salary that are both fully remote, right? If they're not remote, if the jobs aren't remote, I cannot, well, I don't say I cannot, but it's going to be much, much harder for me to do the things I'm trying to do outside of work, right? I ain't going to be able to make shit, I ain't going to be able to make shit shake. I ain't going to be able to make nothing shake if I cannot, if I have to go into an office, right? I've told y'all at length what the plan is. The plan is get these two jobs making that much money. So it'd be 400K base salary in total from, when you combine the income from both jobs and let them be both fully remote. I would have, I'm saying basically two computers or whatever, or two monitors open at the same time, right? Doing both jobs at the same time. That's kind of what my daily would look like. And I just know from experience when I'm working fully remote, because that was my last job. Like every job I've had for the last few years has been fully remote, right? So the so I've gotten used to it and I understand how much time I can save when I'm fully remote. You know what I'm saying? Especially here in Atlanta, ain't nobody trying to be out in that traffic every day. Like, ain't nobody trying to be like this Atlanta traffic is different. If you from here or live here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing else needs to be said. Okay, so I don't want to be out there in that traffic. The and when you're out there in that traffic, bro, it's like a 2-3, it's like a 2 hour thing. Like You can, if you leave work at 4, especially if you in the city, you get home at like 6. Okay, like that's too much time wasted, right? Whereas if I'm at home working and I end my whatever, if I end that work day at 4 o'clock, the day is over at 4 o'clock. I can shift focus to other things I got to do. You see what I'm saying? If I achieve whatever I need to achieve for that day, then shift my motherfucking focus. Like, you know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Um. So anyway, again, 2 jobs, 200K base salary each, 400K base salary total. Um, Start building relationships. So this is the goal now. I'll get to that in a second too. Start building relationships with loan officers and senior credit directors and stuff like that at different banks and credit unions. Start building relationships with them today. You know what I'm saying? Especially anybody who went to Morehouse. So, and I'll touch on that, kind of explain what I'm talking about in a second. Start building relationships with them today, and then uh, and start working on my credit today too, because my credit has taken a hit the last like year. It was really good at one point, but like this last year or two, whatever, has been suffering because your boy has been, income been so up and down and whatever, all that stuff. Get my credit straight and start networking with, like again, senior credit directors, people like that, um, so that 4 to 6 months from now, when I go seeking a loan, a business loan, um, I'm much more likely to be approved for that loan. So what the hell am I talking about? The plan that I've set in place, right? The plan is, first things first is getting these 2 jobs I keep talking about, right? Okay, whatever. We all know that. Then after that, right? Once that's done, even if we come up a little short of 400,000 from combining both incomes, I mean, if we could even get to, honestly, if we could even get to 300, that would still be decent. But the goal, right? The ideally, we'd be at 400K base. Um, and so at that type of making that type of money a year, we doing pretty good. Okay, like let's just keep it a beam. All right, we're doing pretty good. We're making a lot more money than I ever have. Okay. One of the things, and I told y'all about this, my plan is to acquire a small business, right? If I'm making $400,000 a year, that's great. That's a lot of money. I'm still not making enough to buy a business outright myself. Okay. Especially if I'm starting with zero, basically zero savings like I am now, right? You know what I'm saying? Like so you're not able to do that. But what I've realized and what I've learned over the past, really last couple of weeks, is that, and other people will say that they knew this, okay? But my thing is, if you knew it, then why haven't you done it? Right? Every time I say stuff, like that's one thing I say, like my dad. Like every time I tell my dad an idea I have, he always tries to take like ownership of it. Like, Miles, I told you that years ago. I'm like, Dad, no, you didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me not get off track. To acquire, just a couple weeks ago, I thought that in order for me to acquire a business, I need to have the cash. Straight up. If I wanted to acquire a business, um, you know, that was making whatever it was making a year, whatever. I was, and say the business cost $500,000. I was gonna need $500,000 cash to buy the business outright. That's what I thought just a couple weeks ago, really a couple days ago. Okay, did a little research. Okay, and found that basically that's stupid. Okay, not stupid, but like it's not the best route, and that people don't do that. Right? People use other people's money to acquire businesses. Say it again. People use other people's money to acquire businesses. Most people never have, even if they like. I don't want to say never, right? You got rich people, whatever. But like the most people, so I stick to what I said. Most people don't have $500,000 to just buy a business in cash, right? So what do? you have to go to a bank or a credit union or some other lender. There's all types of similar businesses that don't operate exactly like banks do, right? So again, a credit union, there's loan offices, whatever, right? Different lenders that don't necessarily consider themselves a bank, okay? And then obviously you got your traditional banks like the big ones or whatever. But you got to go somewhere like that, or the SBA, right? Small Business Association. You got to go somewhere like that. Who you got to go to a lender. You got to find a lender, okay? You go to them, and they are going to drill down, right? They're gonna walk you down. They're gonna figure out every, you know what I'm saying? Everything you got going on. They're gonna get a really clear picture of your personal finances, the finances of the business you're trying to acquire, your credit, your this, your that, all that. Okay. And however, what I found right through my research, it shouldn't be that hard, right? It's probably gonna be a little harder for me because I'm black, but we found a way around that too. I'm gonna get to that. Okay. So, but if everything checks out though, right? So like they're gonna look at my income. Okay, I just told you I'm about to get 2 jobs that are gonna be quote unquote good paying jobs. So that's gonna show on paper he got the income, right? They want to see like good income as a fallback. They want to see I have good credit. What I just tell you, I'm gonna find some type of agent, the right person or some type of agency to start cleaning that shit up now. You see what I'm saying? Like today, okay? So that 6 months from now when I'm trying to acquire a business, the credit should have improved or whatever, okay, from what the credit agency is gonna do, right? That's like one of the I'm concerned about 2 things, and I'll get to them. That's one of them. Right now, my credit isn't that good, so that's why I said I need to do something to get that turned around as quickly as possible. But I told you the income. If I'm making, it doesn't matter, 200, 300, 400 $1,000 a year, the income checks. You see what I'm saying? It checks that box. So they want to see my income, credit. So we're gonna get the credit repaired, and then they want to see pay stubs from the last few months, like personal income pay stubs. That's why I said I'm not gonna start seeking the loan until 5, 6 months from now, whatever. Okay, so then I'll have 5, 6 months of pay stubs for them to look at. So the pay stubs will be fine. They want to know I have experience running a similar business or whatever. I got experience running just about every type of business. Just keeping it a being, right? They haven't all been that successful, which is why I'm trying to acquire one that's already successful, right? So anyway, I can trust me. I can figure that out. I'm confident I can figure out the whole. We can work through that, needing to have experience, running the business or whatever. We know we got that. So they want to know you have that, and then you know, those are kind of the things they need to see on the personal side, like on my side with me. And then with the business, they got to see that it's making this amount of money, revenue, and profitability, and just all the stuff that you would assume that they would need to see, right? Like all the basic stuff: revenue, profitability, profitability that is higher than the debt that you would take on when you acquire the business. Right? It's like the biggest one. You know, the fact that the business needs to be in business for, they want to see like at least 5 years or whatever. It's 3 to 5 years minimum that the business should be in operation, stuff like that. Okay. But I have all that information now. Like I know what needs to happen. And the only things that would be hard about that, about everything I just said, is my credit I already know is not that good right now. And at the moment, your boy ain't got no income. That's what we working on. Okay. Once those 2 things get figured out, and they want to see like my resume, does this person know what they have any clue what they're doing? And then it was one other thing. Oh, the last 2 years W2, like W2s for the last 2 years. I don't have that. Like that might be a little problem area too, because because of how up and down my income has been the last couple years. So again, the only thing I'm gonna have a problem with, the job thing, it's not gonna be a problem. Like we're obviously working on that now. I think that's gonna come sooner than later. Okay, but the credit repair and the 2-year They want to see the last 2 years of my personal taxes. Okay. So those gonna be two things I gotta work around. Everything else should be fine, and we should be able to kind of pass with flying colors. But watch this. One of the reasons why, right? And this is just like I just know, okay. One of the reasons why, okay, my people we struggle to um, generate wealth in general. Okay, obviously we got plenty of people with wealth, but one of the main reasons why my people struggle to generate wealth is because the bank we can't ever find lenders, people to lend us the money to do what we're trying to do. Right? We don't have the money, and then we can't find the money that we need because you know, um, quite frankly, because we black, okay, and they don't want to. Most of the time, they don't want to lend, large amounts of money to black folks. Okay, let's just keep it. I'm keeping it in a beam with y'all right now. Okay, so, but I found a way around that. So what I'm gonna do is, I just told you, okay, credit repair. That's probably gonna take some time. I don't know about the 2 years of W-2s that they're gonna want to see. It's a little shaky, okay, on my end. So what I do? I said I'm gonna find Morehouse alumnus, right? We got a strong brotherhood. So Morehouse alumnus, people that look like me. You get me? People that look like me and come from the same background as me. I'm gonna connect with them on LinkedIn, right? I went and found people that are directors of like these firms, like directors of credit, director of credit, senior credit director, what chief credit officer, stuff like that. Okay, I went and found people with those titles that also went to Morehouse, so they look like me. Reach out to them, okay, and I'm gonna network with them. I'm gonna get to know them. We're gonna go out to lunch. We're gonna go to, whatever, to dinner. It doesn't matter. We're gonna go out. I'm gonna get to know them. I'm not gonna tell them. This would be really, really dumb. Okay, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna talk about, I got this business I want to acquire. Can you make sure can you help me get the loan from your company? No good. Okay, that'd be a bad mistake, big mistake. So instead, literally, just get to know them. So all I gotta do is reach out to them, and I've already connected with two of them on LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna reach out to them, tell them, look, I'm trying. What am I gonna say? I've tried to get lending in the past for my past businesses. I failed. It's true. I failed to get to raise money or get a loan for my previous business ventures, and I feel like that's why they failed. So I just want to see if I could talk chat with you to better understand or learn more about the lending business and how it works, so that I can be more informed moving forward. Something like that, right? Like I'm just gonna frame it as me trying to learn from them, which is true, okay? But the first few conversations, it's just that. That's all it is. I'm networking. We're not talking about if they even ask me about a business, I probably just won't even mention it, okay? Just talking to them, getting to know them, asking them the right questions, and genuinely learning from them and getting to know them on a personal level. And so I'm gonna do that now, so that in 6 months, right, when I've been making money from my job and I got some pace, all the other stuff I just said that I'm gonna need, right, that the lender is gonna need to see from me. I spend the first 6 months of this year getting all that shit in order, right? So that 6 months from now, right, I go out, me and bro go out to dinner, and now I bring it up. Oh, and now it's the first time I bring it up. I've gotten to know him for 6 months already, right? We've built a good rapport. We've been out to dinner, lunch 2, 3 times, whatever. Okay. So now at this point, maybe I bring it up that I'm looking, I just found this business. Nigga, we didn't just find it. We found the business 6 months ago. But I just found this business that I'm looking to acquire. And really just, want to learn, see if you could help out with the lending process. you think he's gonna be more willing to help out 6 months after I've gotten to know him for 6 months, or the first time I talk to him, I'm asking him for a favor? You get me? So more than likely, 6 months down the road, at that point, he's gonna want to help, and because of the position that he's in, given the fact that he's at the director level, like literally right, you know, at least two of the people I've connected with so far. I don't think I've connected with any chief credit officers just yet, but I've connected with people that are right under them, the director of credit risk or what have you. Two guys on that level. So like, he literally, those two guys are in the position they're in a position to overrule, right? To override what the underwriter might say, because my application for a loan would go to like the underwriter or the I guess first it goes to the loan officer, then it goes, if it gets past the loan officer, it goes to the underwriter, then I think it goes to the director, okay, and then it goes to like the final person or whatever. So these guys, if they're at the director level and the loan officer or the underwriter is looking at my application and like, I don't know, his credit, his credit could be a little bit better, and I don't know if his resume is it's okay, it's not. Director of credit gonna come in and say it's fine, push him through. You see what I'm saying? The director of credit gonna be like, he gonna look at, who is it? This is Miles Hanner, right? Okay, yeah, push him through. But sir, he did push him through. Sir, are you sure? Push him through. You get my point. You see what I'm saying? You get me. That's what I'm coming. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm saying. The guy push him through. Yeah, that's a director that I've gotten to know for 6 months or whatever. So that's what I'm talking about. And then the director, I'm pretty sure they say approve or deny, right? So they give that approval, and then basically the chief credit officer or whoever, they give I think they basically go off the recommendation of the director, and probably more times than not, they just, if the director said approve, they just go ahead and approve it. You see what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, so that's my way of getting around going to a traditional bank where I don't know nobody and they don't know me. So yeah, I go into a traditional bank, you know, and I go talk to Ashley, you know what I'm saying? Or I go talk to Kate, talking about, I want a business loan for $500,000. This young black man wants a business loan for $500,000. The hell is he gonna do with $500,000? He's talking about he gonna acquire some. She going back to her husband that later that night. He talking about he want to acquire a business. What, like, what does he think he is? He did. That's how they talk, bro. That's how they talk. You know what I'm saying? That's how they talk. Like, let's keep it a bean. So, but again, when you know somebody who's in a position, so Kate, she probably the loan officer. That would be like the first person I talk to. She's the loan officer. If I can't get past the loan, traditionally, right? If I can't get past the loan officer, how the hell am I gonna get to the? How the hell is my application gonna get approved? People so slimy. If I met her, if I go to a bank right now, talking about trying to get a business loan, she could tell me to my face that she's gonna approve it, and as soon as I walk out the door, she gonna hit deny. You get me? You see what I'm saying? Like, she ain't fucking with it like that. She just said it so I didn't get mad in the bank or something or whatever, cause a scene. You get you see what I'm saying? But the director, he two levels above her head. 2, 3 levels above her head. If he need to, he gonna walk downstairs and tap her on the shoulder like, didn't I tell you to push this through? Why didn't you push it through yet? Why didn't you approve it yet? It should already be on my desk by now. Stop playing. So yeah, bro. So that's kind of the strategy. Um, and so then, like I said, we get a loan for right now. I'm thinking anywhere between I don't know 400,000 and 800,000, some shit like that. That range, that amount of money should put me in a position to buy like a legitimate business that's bringing in anywhere from 10,000 to $30,000 in profit a month, right? Like legitimately, that's enough money to buy a business like that. So I would take the loan, I would buy the business, right? And then um yeah, and then and then all of a sudden I got three incomes, right? I got the business, the income from that business. Let's say it's bringing in 20K a month profit, not revenue. 20K a month profit, and I already got the two jobs that are good jobs, quote unquote. So now all of a sudden I got three incomes. You know what I'm saying? So that's the goal. That's what we're trying to do. So it's a lot of networking right now. Um, you know, I'll go ahead and hold on. Let me see my. Let me stop playing and do this real quick. I just realized what time it is too. Your boy got a dip. Broke boy, broke boy, broke boy, broke boy. Gotta go do Uber Eats, man. Gotta go do Uber. I mean, I could wait till tomorrow, but I don't have anything that's really. Oh, I need to charge my phone up anyway. I can't. My phone charger doesn't work. I mean, my not phone charger, my car charger, and my phone is basically dead now. So my phone probably gonna have to charge for at least an hour or some shit like that. So anyway, we could really lean in tomorrow. Honestly, we probably just gonna have to lean in tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Friday is usually jumping anyway. Friday is when it's jumping more than Thursday. Today's Thursday, and then Saturday is supposed to have a little snowstorm or whatever. Um, and I'm supposed to just be kicking it with my girl on Saturday. So Saturday and Sunday and maybe Monday too, depending on how the snowstorm goes. But yeah, I don't know why the time just crept up on me, bro. That's what it was. That's what happened. The time crept up. But yeah, bro. So uh, again, the message I'm gonna reach out to, or when I reach out to them, is gonna be just like these senior like credit directors and stuff. They won't hear me mention anything about a business, bro. I'm gonna come across as just trying to learn from them, right? Just meet with them, learn, figure out learn more about their space, so that I don't make mistakes I've made in the past, whatever, something like that. And I can go look and see if they local. Let me see something. Let me go look and see if they local. Um, I'm trying not to get back on here because I know Ashley. But I ain't worried about that. So she ain't talking about that. She just sent me the message and all that. So I'm trying to. But it's cool. Oh, I got distracted for a second. So yeah, my guy right here. They both on mobile, and I'm not showing my screen. I'll show it though. Show my screen real quick. So this is my guy right here. So I found two of them. I mean, I'm sorry, I found seven of them. I guess she's my VA. She already sent all seven of the requests. I'm pretty sure she sent all seven requests. Um, why is it looking like that? Whatever, bro. It is what it is. So my guy right here, Andre, he's a senior CRE credit officer, right? So watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. If I can find it, hopefully it's not too far up. Hold on. Where did it go? This is kind of what I did to find them. Well, my VA found them, but I told her what to look for. And then she found them and sent the connection request already. I guess it's on WhatsApp. But I thought it was on Ended right here. Bro, it's always every time I'm looking for something, you can't ever find it. Like, when I'm not looking for something, that's when it just is right in front of my face. Like every time. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's on WhatsApp. But basically, my guy right here, Andre, he is a senior, as you can see his title. Okay. He is above the underwriters. Okay. So, and I've already connected with him, obviously. This is what I said to him. I said, hey, looking to connect with other Morehouse brothers. It's true. Okay. So now, um, you can see here, he's been at his current role as senior credit officer at Stearns Bank for a year and 7 months, right? So credit risk management, commercial real estate, um, commercial lending. There you go. That's what I'm trying to do, right? So he got that as his top, um, as a top 4 skill for him. Perfect. Loans, okay. But again, given his position at Stearns Bank, he should be able to, again, he should be able to make something shake. So this is one guy I'm definitely gonna reach out to. And then my other guy here, this other brother who went to Morehouse, David Miles. Okay, so David works at Eastern Funding, and he's the vice president, director of credit at Eastern Funding, right? And he's been there for almost 17 years. He's been in his current role as vice president and director of credit for 4 years. 4 years. So, but again, he's been at the company for almost 17. So everybody and their mama knows who he is at this point. Okay. So guess what? If I get on the same page with him, right? I've already, messaged him. He knows, he's Morehouse like I am, everything. So now if I get on the same page with him, what's gonna happen? Right? He's probably gonna push that application through. So those are just 2. I got 7 that I'm gonna reach out to that are in positions of influence, positions of power, and I'm gonna reach out to those guys. Okay, I'm gonna reach out to all 7, and even if they can't help, they probably know somebody who can or whatever. But again, for the foreseeable future, it's just gonna be about building a relationship with them. Pause. Because when I go looking for funding, I'm not trying to be struggling looking for funding, bro. I ain't trying to let that. I'm not trying to let that be the reason why I'm not able to acquire whatever business I'm trying to acquire. The other thing that's going to allow me to do when I decide to reach out to them, the other thing is going to allow me to do is save up money until then. If I can do what I'm trying to do, right, which is what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to obviously, well, not right now, but I'm trying to get the 2 high paying jobs. Not we talked about it. If I can get those jobs sooner rather than later. Let's just say within a couple weeks. Okay, like the second week of February, we got the job. That's gonna give me about 5 months, whatever, 4.5 months or whatever, to because I want to be working on securing this loan. Ideally, I would secure the loan right at halfway through the year, which means I kind of gotta get shit jumping like now. You know what I'm saying? Or not now, but like a few months before that. I want to have the money in my account by, I'm gonna say worst case like July 1st or some shit like that. Okay. But my whole point was, it gives me a few months to save up money. If I got these two jobs that's gonna be paying me what I'm trying to get paid, it's within the realm of possibility that I can end up having, you know, trying to think. I guess it's very, very possible your boy could end up having like, I'm gonna say 70K, 70, 80K saved up by the time I even asked the credit director for, um, for help pushing my application through. And most of these lenders, these credit companies, they want to see, right? Most of what they want to see is 10% equity down. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm trying to acquire a business that costs 700,000, I'm gonna need to put down 70,000, or I'm gonna have to find somebody who can put down 70,000, or a fraction of 70,000, right? Maybe half of it or whatever. Okay. Maybe I would maybe Alex would, go in half and half with me or some shit. I don't know. Okay. And he'd be like, okay, I got you on 35K, or some shit. Okay. Um, that's the other thing. I'm trying, so um starting to save money to prepare for the whole loan underwriting process, right? So when they go and they want to look at my bank account, they can see that it's growing, right? And has been doing nothing but growing for the past several months. You see what I'm saying? And they see, okay, he's got 100K in the bank, or just, I know it says 70, but let's just say it's 100K. He got 100K in the bank. He got 100K in the bank. He's making 400K. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? He's got it. And then again, I could, just if I don't want to empty the freaking account, okay, get somebody to go in with me, like one of my friends or somebody like that, or right would be the even better route, find a VC or an angel investor who definitely has 50K, 100K. It's nothing to them, okay. Find a VC that would be willing to go in with me, so that I come out of my pocket zero, nothing comes out of my pocket. You see what I'm saying? That would be ideal. But I just don't really want to have to owe an investor. I don't mind the business owing the bank or whatever. I don't want to have to owe the bank and, uh, a angel investor or a VC. Okay. I know a couple of VCs already. Okay. I know a couple of VCs already. But I need to kind of, you know, continue building those relationships too. So basically, right, we're gonna be networking with guys like Andre and David, because those guys can help me get the funding to acquire a business. And I'm also gonna be networking with people like, she always on my timeline, so I should see her here pretty soon, to be honest. At the same time, I'll be networking with people like, come on, I know you gotta be here somewhere. She's making me look bad. Of course, when I'm looking for her now, I can't find her. But one of the people I know, I don't know her that well, but I do know her, and I do know kind of what she does. I know she's a VC. I know she's a partner at a VC firm. So basically, just going to Atlanta Tech Village. That's where she has a lot of events and networking events, just whatever. Okay, presentations, pitch deck competitions, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna be at I'm gonna be there, and then just networking with her and people that are there. And the same thing is gonna be just, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, I'm looking to acquire a business in a few months. Can you want to go in with on it with me?" Like, that ain't it, bro. What I'm gonna do, same thing I said about the lenders, right? The guys I was just showing you. Build that relationship with her, right? Her name's Catherine. Build that relationship with her and any other people like her, any other VCs I know. Okay, do that now, right? Between now and June, July, so that when that time comes around, it doesn't. It's something that they'll want to do. Like, it's something that they will more than likely help with. You see what I'm saying? They're more likely help me with that because it's like they know me, they built a relationship with me, and vice versa. Okay, I'm not just asking them for a favor on day one. So again, building that relationship with the people that can that can lend me the money, and the people that can help me, basically help me finish the deal by investing. I'm gonna say somewhere between somewhere between 50K and 100K or something like that. They can help me complete the deal with their investment. And if that happens, I'm talking about the VC would do that. And that happens, I would literally be able to acquire a business without putting any money down. And the business would be in debt, obviously, to the lender and to the VC. But I'm not in any debt, personally. And there it is. So that's what we're trying to do, man. Um, I feel like it's pretty clever because I've seen that, um, trying to build a business is hard, bro. It's not that I can't do it, but I have struggled to do it to this point for various reasons. Mainly because niggas have never had the money. Like, I've never had the money to sustain the business that I'm trying to build. I'm always trying to build a business when I'm not working a regular job, and it's been hard to do that again when you don't have that income to support the business that you're trying to grow. You know what I mean? So I've always done it backwards and whatnot, but this time, I feel like I'm going about it in a much smarter way, right? I'm making sure I have that stable income, not just stable, but like solid income, and to fall back on if the acquisition doesn't go right or doesn't go through at all or whatever. Okay, people hating, what I'm saying, not wanting it to go through, things like that. I'm like, okay, well, let me try something different, whatever. Okay, I would still have the income from those two jobs until I do make something else happen. You know what I mean? But again, I think if I build the right relationships with the right people, um, without without letting them know that I'm trying to, or I need their help with something 6 months from now, right, or 6 months from then. Um, but again, just get to know them and everything like that. And I think the chips will fall where they may at in June, July, whatever, when I am looking to make that acquisition. But yeah, man, whatever business I acquire, my goal is that business, that one business, replaces both of the incomes from those two jobs. So if I hit the marks I'm trying to hit with the two jobs, I'll be making around 25K a month, um, when I combine the income from those two jobs. So I'm looking for a business that is making. Uh, I'm looking for a business that is making 200. I mean, uh, making 25K a month in profit, right? Net income, take home income. That business is allowing me to take home 25K a month. And then in theory, your boy will be able to quit the two jobs as soon as I acquire that business. So if things really go my way, 6 months from now, I could be a full time entrepreneur, right? Running a passive business. Because get this, if the business is making 25K a month in profit, again, obviously, it would clear the two incomes from my job. And then all I gotta do, right at that point, then all I gotta do is hire an operating manager, an operations manager, and that person, because it'd just be an e-commerce business more than likely, so that person could be a freaking college student. I could hire a college student as an intern to run an e-commerce business. He or she would probably run it better than me. You see what I'm saying? Say they a freshman, sophomore in college, they would be grateful to have an internship, making whatever 3K a month or something while in college. And obviously this would be a person that maybe probably be I would probably stick to either somebody overseas, or probably be better than overseas, somebody that is like a student that I can put eyes on, just to be on the safe side. So a student that I can put eyes on, um, that's in whatever city I'm living in at the time. So let's just say it's Atlanta, still Morehouse student or Spelman student, something like that. Give back, what I'm saying? That'd be my way of giving back to the school I went to as well. I feel like I'd be doing a good thing. So hire like a Spelman or Morehouse student for, I said 3,000 a month. Who knows? Maybe make it a little bit more. If business taking on 25K a month, I don't mind paying them even a little bit more than that. That would be a huge blessing. Think about it. You in college, you know what you need with 3K, even 3K a month in college. All you need in college is to pay your book and pay for your books, and you know what else? Food, books. I don't know, condoms. I don't know, like you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't buying nothing. Like so 3K a month would probably go a long way. For a college student, that's what, more than $700 a week. Like, bro, I think if I'm not mistaken, internships still pay like 3,000. Like I think it is like, it depends on the internship, but they give them a stipend. I think, like, what if I ask right now, like, watch this. How much do Fortune how much do Fortune 500 companies pay for summer internships? And again, I would hire an intern because they'd be a lot cheaper than hiring like a full-time employee. Um, and then when the summer is over, then I hire a fall intern, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's all. That's all it would be. Damn it. Okay, that's more than I thought. But okay, 5 to 8,000 per month or whatever. Okay. Okay, but that's like the big, large. That's like the Facebook or whatever, Meta, Microsoft, Apple. Okay. So yeah, we ain't trying to pay y'all like that. Okay. So then we would say internships across many industries, including some Fortune 500 roles, often pay $15 to $30 an hour. Okay, so this is the average intern pay. This is what I was looking for. So 2,400 to 4,800. Okay. Um. So right in the middle would be what, 3,600, I think, right? Because I'm being slow. Yeah, 3,600. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I said $3,000 a month. So we pay them $4,000 a month, and I would clear, if the business bring in 25K per month, in profit, and I'm clearing 21 to 22K a month, and an intern is running the whole business for me, right? A business intern from Morehouse or Spelman, whatever, Clark, Atlanta, wherever. Okay. Again, I would probably lean into HBCUs just to get back to them, and you know, that's how we run it. Um, and then I would say maybe give them some incentives if they're doing a good job. I'd be like, stay on through the school year, right? And I'll bump you up from 3,500 to 5,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? Um, some shit like that. Or if you sit, I'd be like, just to incentivize them. Okay, if you stay on through uh, the fall semester, right? It'll go from 3,500 to 5,000. And then if you then I promote you again in the uh, if you stay on through spring semester, I promote you again from 5,000 to, I don't know, 6,000, some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? 6, 7,000. Because then that would incentivize them to stay on, and I would only do that if they're doing a good job. Like maybe they find a way, because these kids, these Gen Z, they smart. Okay, like they say every generation gets wiser, and I'm sure they know how to leverage AI better than I could or whatever. So maybe they find a way to increase the income of the business, right, from 25K to 30K. You see what I'm saying? And so if they do that, then that's obviously worth me giving them an extra couple $1,000s to stay on in the next semester. But anyway, my whole point is, the business making 25K a month or whatever, hire somebody for a few $1,000s a month to run the whole business. Okay. I was gonna hire somebody overseas, but I would rather hire somebody, what I'm saying, like some young black student who, you know, needs an internship, whatever. Okay. And I would just try to make sure they don't screw it up. Because I would always be happy if they do screw it up. I would be happy to go from, paying them 3 to 5K a month, whatever, to paying somebody overseas literally a tenth of that to run the whole business. $500 a month to run the whole business, and I would clear whatever 24,500 a month. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm like, don't be playing. You know what I'm saying? This internship would be a blessing. Don't block your blessings. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. And I would other thing too is because I think they want to see the lenders would want to know, oh, I'm doing the business full time or whatever. All I would have to say to them is, and I think they would I think this is like actually like a thing, like it makes sense to them. It would make sense to them. Like all I would have to say is, I'm not gonna do the business full time until um, until it can replace my income, right? And so um, so let's just say the business isn't replacing my income, or whatever, or I could say till it's drastically surpassed my the income from my job, something like that. Okay. Um, or basically, I would tell them whatever I need to tell them to make sure that don't get it twisted. So watch this. Andre and David, Andre or David would tell me what I need to have, what I need to put in the application for it to go through. Right. So if I have to tell them that, yeah, I'm going to do the business full time, if that's what I have to say to get the application to go through and to get the loan, then that's what I'm going to say. If I have to say, uh, if I have to say, you know, or if I can say, oh, I'll become a full time operator of the business when it doubles my income from my job or whatever. Then if that passes, then I'll say that. They'll tell me what needs to be in the application. That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? Of getting them involved in the process from the beginning. From before the beginning. You see what I'm saying? They'll tell me what needs to happen. Right. Your boy ain't getting no requests coming in right now. No good ones for Uber Eats. So I don't know, man. That ain't good. Um. So yeah, man, we had an interview today. I think she's gonna push me forward or whatever. After I do whatever, put this application in. It's Ashley right here. After I put this application in, just take 5 to 10 minutes to complete. Then I think she's gonna push me forward, right? All that stuff. So we take it from there. So I'm gonna do that, tonight. And then I'm gonna reach out to Tunde. So he's a Morehouse bro. We graduated the same year. Um, I graduated actually a little bit later because I took off a couple years, whatever, for school. I took off from school a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Your boy was dealing with stuff, so that's why I didn't graduate in 16. I graduated in 18. But we were in the same year, supposed to be in the same class, and so I gotta reach out to him. In fact, I need to go ahead and do that like now. I said I was gonna do that earlier. Let me do that now. I actually went to do it around 1 today, but it's probably better to do it now, to be honest. Um, I think he works at Microsoft, so if he's on the West Coast, then it's still middle of the day for him. So, um, but I know we got a Microsoft office here in Atlanta now, though. If we could get plugged into Microsoft, that'd be perfect. So let me stop playing, like I said, and text Tunde now. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to. I'm always real, very, particular about what I say. So, because once that thing is sent, it's sent. I know you can, well, you can unsend shit now and edit it, but I think it's just kind of like, I always just assume as soon as I send a text, I assume the other person or just read it right away. You know what I'm saying? Um, all right, so I just reached out to him, man. And then we'll get back, or should hear back from him whenever we hear back from him. Um, but yeah, I remember Tunde from when I was back when I was in school. Um, and then yeah, we'll just see. We'll see where it goes from here. Need to call this fool Alex too. He I don't know what he be doing, man. He be doing too much. Alex be acting like he too busy to even talk to your boy no more. I don't know what he got going on. Sometimes he be acting like he busier than the president. I know he got, he got stuff going on, but bro, like that shit ain't cool, man. That shit ain't cool. Like niggas ain't that busy, bro. They just not. Like they just aren't, bro. But yeah, man, I'm excited about this year. I'm excited about 2016. I'm a dumbass. 2026. I'm going back a decade. That's crazy. I'm excited about 2026, man. I think it's gonna be my year. I'm a lot more focused, man. Like it's actually kind of scary. You know what I'm saying? How focused I am. Like this plan I got in place that I just mapped out for y'all. Um, I don't see. I don't think I've never come up with a plan for a year that is just that's better than this one. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the smartest plan I've come up with ever. Um, they say every year you're supposed to get wiser. So I feel like that truly happened this year, coming into 2026, and I'm excited to see what we can make happen. It's uh it's starting off about how I expected it to go. Um, I knew that with the I told y'all at length. The first thing I wanted to do was get a um, quote unquote good job, two of them actually. Right at the beginning of the year, at the latest. We're 3 weeks in. I think it's still pretty early in the year, um, so it's not too bad. But um, I kind of knew the things were gonna go the way they've gone. I didn't expect to have an offer by. I expected like I felt like ideally, best case scenario, I would have gotten an offer for a job offer around now, like maybe between like today and last week, you know, like mid January. But you know, if it carries on a little bit longer, I feel like I'm still cool. But if we get into like mid February and we still don't have not one offer, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. So you know, that's where we are. But again, basically the plan was to get really two jobs, two good paying jobs early in the year, stack some bread, but mainly, learn the roles, do what they paying me to do, all that good stuff, and like I said, stack some bread in the meantime, and network in the meantime, right? In the evening times, or on the weekends, whatever, we're networking. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. We going out to lunch with my man's right here, Andre, or David, or the VC Catherine, right? We're doing that, right? In the morning times, evening time, or morning times, afternoon times, weekends, whatever. That's what we're doing. So that again, 6 months from now, when I go to ask for that favor, when I asked Andre for that favor with pushing my business loan application through, or David to push my business loan application, or ask Catherine to to invest 100K in my business acquisition. Look, I can't talk. Or if I ask Catherine to invest 100K in my business acquisition, right? It clears, right? And it will clear because why? Because we built that relationship over time. So that's what this year is about. It's about stacking bread, kind of getting back on my feet, and establishing the right relationships, so that we don't ever, have some shit like this happen ever again. You know what I'm saying? We don't want this to happen again. It shouldn't happen again. Where we're in a bad spot. You know what I mean? Um, you know, we started that. We actually, honestly, we started that in 2025. We started building relationships, met a lot of cool people, a few cool people who, I still have strong relationships with today. But, we basically trying to take the network into another level in 2026. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. If I'm on the right page, if I'm, you know, on the same page, I'm rubbing elbows with VCs, right? Like I don't know if niggas understand who VCs are. VCs are people that got millions of dollars, right? Like they're very wealthy people. If I'm on their good side, and this just again, this is all about trying to get to build genuine relationships with people, long lasting relationships with people, and to achieve the things that I'm trying to achieve in my life. You know what I'm saying? But think about it. If I'm on the same page with a VC, how could I ever in the future struggle to raise money for whatever venture I decide to pursue? Right? I'm always thinking about this business or that business. It's a much high, I'm obviously gonna be much more likely to raise the funding, raise the money for whatever business I'm trying to pursue if I'm friends with VCs, right? If I'm friends with credit lenders, right? Lenders and business loan people. Uh, if I'm friends with them, I'm much more, if I ever need another business loan, it shouldn't be a problem. It's a marathon, not a sprint, bro. That's all there is to it. That's all I'm saying, man. It's all we're trying to be strategic with how we move this year. We gotta be strategic with how we move this year. That's what it's all about. You mean? I ain't gonna waste no more time, man. I don't really have too much else. I know we did a lot of talking today, but best believe we also put in a lot of job applications today. Y'all just ain't see it. You see what I'm saying? It was in the background. It was happening. But yeah, we put in a lot of job applications today. Um, we connected with the right people, a couple of the right people. I think we got some connection invites pending. You know what I'm saying? But we connected with the right people today. We should be, some of those invites should get accepted tomorrow. Have a few more of them. Connect with a few more of them tomorrow. Um, and we reached out to a few people that I'm networking with to try to, get my next, job opportunity. Um, don't know what's gonna come of it, but I'm talking to two people, right? I don't want to jinx it. I'm talking to two people that work at, well, actually three, two people that work at Microsoft, and then one that I don't know if he still works there, but I think he used to work at Microsoft, right? And they work in sales at Microsoft. If we could get in there through their connections, that would be huge. Microsoft is like a top, forget Fortune 500 company, it's like a Fortune 10. You see what I'm saying? Like one of the most, one of the biggest companies in the world, right? So, and my understanding is that they treat as you would expect, right? They treat all their employees really, really well. They always compensated really, really well. The bonus packages and commission packages and all that. You know what I'm saying? They take care of their employees as they should, right? Like basically better than most every other company in the world. So it would be cool if we could get in there at Microsoft. Um, that would be huge. I think I would have to be either on site or hybrid, so I don't like that. Um, but you know, because I want to be fully remote. But you know, I'm not gonna turn down the offer from Microsoft. It'd be, you know, that's just too good of an opportunity. We couldn't do that. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for today, man. Tomorrow, you know, I'll probably stream a little bit tomorrow too. Another interview tomorrow, and I gotta stop playing, man, and go mobile with my streaming a little bit. But yeah, man, broke to millionaire in a year. That's what my streams are about, and we just locked in this year. So I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow, man.